I thought she just tripped. I was like, Keyonce, come on, we gotta go. It keeps playing back in my head. Her staring into space, her everything.
In Chicago, Illinois, February 25th, 2024 was one of the warmest days of the year at the time. Around 3:30 p.m., sisters 19-year-old Keyonce and 22-year-old Keilaysia Gladney were hanging out with two guys aged 19 and 20 at Pottawattomie Park on North Rogers Avenue. Keyonce, who lived in Minnesota where she attended school, was just visiting for the weekend, and it seemed like a great day to enjoy the outdoors. That was until chaos broke out. Two individuals, one wearing a ski mask, entered the park heading toward the park field house where the four young people were chatting and having a good time. Suddenly, discharge sounds erupted and the group scattered for cover. They soon realized that Keyonce was struck in her chest. The damage that had been done extended beyond her as Keilaysia was struck in the right foot. The 20-year-old male sustained a wound to his forehead, and the 19-year-old male was struck in the left hip. Quickly after, the assailants fled, heading north on Winchester Avenue, according to witnesses and later shared by Chicago police.
Keyonce Gladney was visiting from Minnesota and was her family's ray of light when tragedy struck in this Northside park.
When she fell, I thought she just tripped. I was like, Keyonce, come on, we gotta go. She wasn't getting up. It keeps playing back in my head. Everything, her running, her staring into space, her everything.
In the aftermath, Keyonce and the two males were transported to St. Francis Hospital in Evanston, while Keilaysia was taken to Swedish Hospital. The latter three were listed in stable condition, but despite swift transportation to St. Francis, tragically, Keyonce succumbed to her injuries. As the investigation began, witnesses reported hearing approximately 12 discharge sounds. Residents, shaken by the rarity of such an incident of that magnitude in the area, expressed concern over the escalating violence.
We heard 7, 8, 9 shots just in succession. Pop, 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 pop.
And then we saw a bunch of, looked like teenagers fleeing. And then we heard someone scream, call 911, call 911. So my friend and I ran over and we saw this woman lying there. So we went to administer first aid. When we came, a gentleman was already giving her CPR. And so my friend and I came. She was putting pressure on the bullet.
Alderwoman Maria Haddon suggested that the attack was targeted, specifically directed at one of the wounded men.
Here at the park where that shooting took place, you could see that a vigil now underway at this hour where friends and family are coming out to honor that young woman.
You know, and that's the thing too, once it starts warming up, people start looking for trouble. All of a sudden I just heard pop, 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 pop about 8 times, 9 times, and I knew immediately it wasn't just fireworks.
It appears to have been a targeted shooting, targeting one of the young men. There were 2 young men and 2 young women in the group, and unfortunately all 4 of them were shot.
With another warm day in the books, the fatal did not deter residents like Ulrich from coming out to the park on Monday.
I'm not going to live in fear, you know, so, you know, I mean, I had a little reservation about coming over here, but generally speaking, you know, the neighborhood's a good neighborhood.
Still getting information on the victims and trying to figure out kind of, you know, who were local, who lived around here, and, you know, our condolences go out to the family of the young woman.
The day after the heartbreaking incident, Heightened police and park district presence at Pottawattomie Park were observed. Park management assured the community that there would be additional security measures implemented.
Just like always. Oh my God.
Neighbors here just fed up. Families and children were playing nearby.
Especially the park, because this is a park and the playground inside, you know? And cops are always sitting here.
I mean, I was pretty horrified. When I heard force, I was pretty shocked.
Where the kids are supposed to be able to be safe and play and have fun, because now parents are not going to want their kids to come over here. You know, they're not going to. It's going to be a lot of kids who are not going to be able to come to the Pottawattomie Park because of us. That's not fair to the kids.
Tasha Underwood was about to bring her nephew outside to play.
We just got home and I was like, I'm going to go to the park and get on the swings, but I guess I'll go home and let them know that there was another in the neighborhood, because it just keeps happening more and more often, and it's really sad to see because it's uncalled for.
While other families still making the most of a nice day out shooting hoops with the backdrop of crime scene tape.
Keyonce Gladney was tasked with making the journey from Minnesota to Chicago to face the harsh reality which claimed the life of one of his daughters and left the other wounded and traumatized. The pain echoed in the father's voice as he grieved and regretted not being there to protect his children. Keyonce had been the family's beacon of joy, and her family in Chicago looked forward to her visiting them.
It's unbelievable that they took her away from me.
The pain fresh.
I just don't understand what happened.
As Keyonce Gladney arrives at a Chicago police station after driving from Minnesota.
I miss her so much, man. I'm sorry she was in that predicament. I wish she would have called me and let me know. But I just wish I would have been there to save her life.
His 21-year-old daughter now out of the hospital, but the trauma for her still remains.
She's hurt right now, like I can't talk to her. You know, I can't talk to her on the phone, so I drove up here so I can. But she's doing real bad that she was with her sister and witnessed that, her sister is gone now.
In fact, this weekend, 21 people were victims of violence. Separate families now sharing the same heartbreak, eager to mend those broken pieces with answers.
Hopefully we can get something from the police and they can find out who did it. Y'all took my baby away from me. Turn y'all self in.
She was such a beautiful person. I'm gonna miss her so much.
Relatives say Keyonce was in beauty school in Minnesota, and beautiful she was, inside and out, say her loved ones.
She had asked for a Bible for Christmas, so she really wanted to get close to God and just really find herself as a 19-year-old.
Despite the diligent efforts of law enforcement, as of this video, the perpetrators remain at large. Additionally, police officials declined to comment on whether the discharge incident was targeted or not. May the family and friends of Keyonce Gladney find solace in the happy memories, and may her soul rest in perpetual peace. My thoughts and prayers are also with the others who are wounded, and I wish them all a speedy recovery. Thank you.